Dream big, plan smart, build wealth. This is the TFS podcast, where money talk gets real and financial freedom is more than just a goal. Without further ado, let's dive in.
Hi guys, and welcome to this special two-part series of the TFS WealthCast podcast. Last week you heard Sonali, and this week you're about to hear Pramu's perspective of how Pramu and Sonali built their property portfolio in Australia after moving here, starting from nothing, from the ground up, from their first property to their second property to the third, and so on, to now having a property portfolio of 20 plus properties. And without any further ado, I'd like to welcome our founder and CEO, Mr. Pramu Rodrigo.
Thank you, Vishy. Thank you for having me over and over again.
No worries, Pramu. Thank you for always, wanting to do these podcasts with us.
Yes.
Because there's a wealth of knowledge that you and Sonali share in these podcasts, and it's all from experience. It's not just from books you read or podcasts you heard, right? So with that being said, I'd like to dive straight into it because Sonali touched a lot on how you guys moved here and whatnot, and we've touched on your past a bit on other podcasts.
Yeah.
So I guess it's fair to say that we can jump straight into your property journey.
Sure.
In Australia. Awesome. So Pramu, I want to be straight. When did property become real for you? Not just an idea. Take us back to that first property. What got you into that property? That first property.
See, the property where I learned about property, Vishy, when I started the business in property business, that's the first one I started. So that's where I actually got to know quite a lot about property, right? I knew.
So you got into real estate.
I got into real estate. That was my first business.
Okay.
Right. So when I was doing that business, that's where I learned about property, the land acquisitions, land developments, property development, first home buyers, investors. So I was fortunate enough to work with quite a number of customers like that, thanks to the referral partner that I had back in the day. Financial Freedom was the company. Mrs. Vinod Singer, to this date, a dear friend of mine. She sent me a lot of customers to work. I was only working for her, looking for opportunities for her investors. So that's where I learned about property. The developers and builders who I worked with, marketing agencies I worked with, real estate agents who I worked with, they taught me quite a lot, right? So it was that is the time I thought, we should buy property too.
Okay.
I never knew it's going to be the first home and then go, but it was there.
Okay. So take us to the first property,
Yeah. So first home, I can't remember exactly the time. I think it was 2012. Yeah, 2012. Sonali wanted to buy. Sonali was like, they said, saying, okay, we got to buy the first home, because back in the day, we had first home owners grant. If you buy a land and build a house, we had a first home owners grant. When we started looking, it was $40,000. That's a lot of money. And then it became 30,000. Then all of a sudden it became 20,000 while we were looking at opportunities and while we were looking at options. So we were looking in Southeast. We were going down the path of Berwick, Cranbourne North. Cranbourne North is like brand new.
Back in 2012.
Yeah. Literally paddy fields then.
Yeah.
Now the new developments.
And now look at Cranbourne North.
Right. So we actually went there and had a look. We went to Dandenong South, had a look at some options there. So none of those options didn't work out for us because Sonali was working in the city. I was working in the city. We didn't know how to travel that long because we were not used to that. We were used to travel from when we started in Australia from Footscray to the city, that was like 2 or 3 train stops for me. Right, and same thing for Sonali. Then we moved to Burwood East, beautiful area to live. Again, very, very quick travel time. We drive to the Burwood station, park the car there, take the train, go to work.
Yeah. So the location was one of the major deciding factors in where you guys purchased your first home. I mean, naturally,
Yeah.
which is
So for Sonali very specifically said to me, okay, let's go and have a look at the option. We'll see some display houses, crazy, beautiful. Okay, I want that. Then I get really excited. Oh, what if I can have a pool? So all these dreams started coming in, and then we realized no, it's not about the bigger house we want. It's about the location and how easy we can commute to our place of work,
yeah.
our lifestyle. Our friends were living in the area as well. It's just an easy commute.
Yeah.
And we loved the Burwood East vibe as well. So we want to be closer to that.
So where did you guys finally end up buying the house?
So we bought it in Wanturna,
Okay.
right? So there's a bit of a story. We went to a place in Ferntree Gully. We loved it. Amazing land, overlooking the views of Dandenong Ranges. And I thought, okay, build a nice balcony, happy days. Just about me getting into, I think probably about a few seconds, me closing the door, I heard a screaming noise from the neighbors.
Just before you got into the car?
Just before, right?
Yeah.
Screaming noise from the neighbors plot.
And that put you off?
That put me off
yeah,
straight
yeah.
away. But then I wanted to ask Sonali because she loved the land, and she was already planning on what we're going to build. So I asked her, do you really want to buy it now? And she looked at me and said, no. Done, no worries. Call the agents. Nah, that's not for us. And this agent said to me, there is a land in Wanturna, why don't you go and have a look? I said, look, that is going to be over our budget. We don't want to go beyond this. We want to stick with our budget. I said, no, it's okay. Just go and have a look. Right, no worries. We went there. Moment I turned left to this court called Hewitt Court, as soon as I turned my car, Sonali goes, this is it. This is where I want to stay. That's what she's doing. Now, I haven't seen the land. Parked the car, got down, had a look at it. It was a odd-shaped block. Looks like a, in Sinhalese, we can say the Kiribat.
Like two triangles put together.
Yeah, exactly. It was so weird.
Yeah.
So I asked the price, obviously over the budget. I said, I can't afford it. Would you take $300,000 back in the day? I have a lot of money back in the day buying a land. When all my friends, all the people that I was looking at, and the land that we were looking at, they were 230 and 200,000. That was the price point. 250 was a premium price back then for a first home buyer. Now, I had to give an offer at 300,000. I think they were asking about 330. They had an offer as well of 330. Somehow the other offer didn't go through. Hold up. Pretty much next day, said to me, you need to come to the office before 6 o'clock. You need to sign the contract. We will accept 300,000. So I said, Sonali, all right, that's a bit weird. Let's go for it. Done. When by 6:15, we signed the contracts, paid the deposit, came home. Then we decided, okay, now what we can build. We go to a few builders. Every builder is saying, it's an odd-shaped block. We can't build too much on it. So you can have a very small house, single story or double story. Something about that land I always knew.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to go to these major builders. None of these guys can't build. So then I made few calls to few
Some of the builders you had befriended from your real estate career.
I actually called a couple of other builders and I said, I got this land. It's a bit weird.
That's the beauty, because it was a odd-shaped block. A lot of builders don't build on those. Yeah.
So frontage was 6 meters and everybody's like, why did you buy it?
But how big was the land?
It was 525 or something
Yeah.
around that. Then they were like, "Why did you buy it? Are you crazy? 6 meter frontage. You can't build anything, mate." I said, "Okay, I understand. Can you get me a custom builder, please?" Then few names came, and then one builder I found. I went and had a look, had a chat. We had a look at one of the properties. Me and Sonali went down to, I think, somewhere down in.
Who was the builder you guys used? If you don't mind
I
sharing.
don't know. I can remember Alpha Building Group.
Okay.
In fact, I built 2 houses with them. So first home, they said, "Look, this is the land." I said, "Yep, no worries, cool. We understand." There you go. The drafty person we use. You should go and meet the fellow. That doesn't happen back in the day like that.
Yeah.
So I was excited about it. It's like having an architect. Drafty is a brilliant guy. He comes to the land, park the car, he got his ladder, put triangle ladder.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I'm sitting, I'm on the land. I'm looking at, what are you doing? Climbed up to the ladder. I looked at it. Yeah, man, I can build something really cool.
Oh, nice. So just like that,
Yeah.
in his head, he's already.
So I don't think there were no drones back in the day
Yeah, exactly. So it was
to
more.
map out. I think he was mapping it out. So my second land, when we bought it, he did the same thing, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
So first did that. We built a 30. We actually ended up building a 30-odd square single-story house. So we ended up building a bigger house.
A massive single-story house.
Massive single-story house. It had a theater room, 4 bedrooms. You got everything,
Yeah.
right? And some lovely features on kitchen splashback, a bit different.
Yeah.
So house was good. My total cost, as far as I can remember, back in the day, it was $560,000
In total, or
Total.
in total with the land.
with the land
And
and,
the build.
build cost. So the build cost was $260,000 for me to build a 30 squares house.
And it was a full turnkey.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, it wasn't a
turnkey,
full turnkey.
right?
Okay.
It wasn't. But the driveway I ended up doing separately. Landscape I did it by myself.
Yeah. Back when you had more free time to use
Yeah,
your creative skills.
I
and,
had time. I had time. So I enjoyed doing landscaping, by the way. So that was the first home. 560. You put all the other costs. You put 580. You really want to,
Yeah.
but it didn't cost me 20,000 to do the rest of it. I'll probably put another 10K. That's it. So 570.
Yeah.
So that was the first home, right? By the way, I got the 20,000 grant as well.
Oh, you got the first homeowners
The
grant.
first homeowners grant too. So
Beauty. Now the
property
beauty.
number one.
Now the beauty of this property
Yeah.
is the equity you built on this.
Mm.
Talk us through that. Because you built it quite fast.
We built it very fast. We moved in. First child comes as well.
Yeah.
We ended up selling it in about 1.5 years. And it was amazing to see the amount of money we got out of it in a 1.5 years time.
Yeah.
But I think what sparked in the previous episodes, what Sonali is talking about, it sparked the neighbors also sold it for a good
Yeah.
price.
So what are the factors that enabled you guys to sell this house at such a good value? I mean, what helped you gain so much out of this property?
So I think the fact that you bought the land cheaper,
Because it was an odd-shaped block.
it was an odd-shaped block, not a lot of people are buying.
Yeah. And why don't a lot of people like these odd-shaped blocks?
It's problematic. You can't go to a main builder or major builder and pick a floor plan that you like and go, and you can't do that. You gotta create. You gotta have a vision,
Yeah.
right? Not all people want to go through that process because everything is easy. Go there, pick the plan. Oh, yep, that tile, that floor, floorboards, bench tops. At least we had to do that, by the way, in my first home. It's about 4 hours Sonali took to pick the colors. Like from that point of, I never did the colors.
It's a good thing you're a really patient guy.
You can't call that way because after that point, I have never gone to a color selection.
I mean, not like you got to do what you wanted to do anyways, right?
So, so we went and had a chat to an agent. An agent said, "Yeah, I can achieve." Same agent who sold the previous house of the next door. We achieved 735 as a sale price. So our total cost was land and build cost was put it 570, right? So we made about $165,000
In just over a year.
1.5 years,
1.5 years.
right? Remember there's a 20,000 from the government too.
Yeah.
So my return on investment, I looked at it from that perspective. What I actually spent from my pocket was nothing for me to earn $135,000.
Yeah.
So $165,000, right? That was a massive return on investment. So I asked Sonali, financial plan, hey, why do we need to work so hard? I asked this from her.
Yeah.
And she was like, why? You do this 5 times, 115 to 5 times, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you happy? One kid, just under 30, was 29, right? By 35, man, you got quite a lot of funds in your account.
Yeah.
You're in a very good place. So she said, you can definitely do it. Let's strategize.
So that's where it became real for you.
That's when we started looking into this in a real investor perspective.
Yeah.
Not wasting hours on color selections.
So you would say this first property is what convinced you that buying properties
Absolutely.
was the vehicle.
You should hear the second
creating-
property story,
Oh, let's dive straight into that then.
right? I sell it.
Yeah.
I walk down,
Yeah.
take my dog for a walk. There's a land which I always wanted to buy, which wasn't available because someone has already bought it. Sale sign going on the land. This I sold it day before my house, taking a walk. Sale sign, how much? Don't know. So I called the agent. How much do you want? Anything south of 350. I said, okay, dude, come on. What's the price? Give 400, it's yours. I said, okay, done.
Anything south of 350. Yeah.
Right? I said, okay, 400,000, done. Give me the section 32. Let me get back to you. I'll pay 400,000. So I'm already doing my numbers. Okay, that's fine. Right? 400,000, spend another whatever, man. I'm still making money. I'm not going to lose money here. But this land is much better. There's a view.
Again, odd-shaped block of land?
Odd-shaped block.
yeah.
Block, 6 meter frontage again.
You love your odd shapes, huh?
Yeah, loved it. It's brilliant. He's just giving me money for nothing, right? I'm looking for odd shapes. Moment I see a rectangle block, I was like, stuff that, not for me.
So that doesn't trigger your OCD, the fact that the land is an odd-shaped block?
No, because it's making me money.
Oh, okay. So, yeah.
I'm OCD into numbers, right?
And
so I
shape.
see the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, I buy this, build that, cost, holding cost, sell it. Okay, who cares about the shape?
Done. We found the second land and then
Right.
onto the second property.
Me build, and I'm still living in that house, by the way.
The one you sold.
Second property.
Second
Second
sorry, yeah,
land I
you're
bought.
currently living in the
Currently living
second
in that.
house you
So I
bought.
built a house. So this is a funny story. So I'm willing to pay 400,000, and then he called me. He sent me section 32. He called me the next day and said, "Hey, mate, we can't sell it to you like that. It needs to be an auction." I said, "Why?" It's an auction, but prepared. It'll be over 330. Yeah, no worries. Come to the auction. Stay. Me and Sonali staying. Nobody's bidding. I put my first bid, 260. No one's bidding. And I'm looking at Sonali. You serious? We're going to get this for 260.
Yeah.
Then the vendor's bid comes in 270.
Okay.
I said, all right, cool. I put 274. No. You got to put minimum 5,000. I said, all right, 275. Right?
Yeah.
Then he reduced it to some person, put it 277. He took that 2,000. He didn't take my 4,000. Okay.
Clearly some discrimination going on
There you go. Right? I said, all right, fine enough. That's okay. And I thought, you know what, I'll give you 10K. Because in my head, I can go up to 400,000 here. Now I want this land. I don't care. I want it.
We're gambling now, all right?
Right? I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm buying this. So Sonali's just there. So I gave 280. that person stopped bidding. I bought the land for 280.
And you were willing to pay 400 for this?
I was willing to pay 400 for it.
Damn.
It was apparently a foreclosure sale.
Oh, okay.
The person who had the land didn't pay the loan. The bank only wanted 270. I think to cover the selling cost and all, they just wanted 280. They were happy to sell it, and hammer goes down. 280. The land is mine.
Yeah, you got lucky twice.
Might. Another 20,000 from the government. If you really think about it, my previous land, 4 doors.
Oh, because of the first
it was
home buyer.
300,000. Then I buy this for 280. $20,000 less.
Cheaper, and $20,000 cheaper after 1.5 years.
After 1.5 years,
Right? What was the market rate?
400,000.
Got lucky.
That's why I said, okay, pay up the market rate. That's okay. Because this time we were not going to sell it. Sonali said, okay, let's build, let's stay. But we know this play. Let's have a place for us to stay. Let's strategize. Let's do it in elsewhere.
Yeah.
So we were willing to do it. We built the house. That house helped us.
The instant equity,
Vishy.
Yeah.
It was like, house built, I'm moving in, I'm cashing out.
Yeah.
I'm cashing out. So I'm cashing out to do what? To buy cars? No. Buying land. Building. We bought, I think the third property was a apartment in Footscray.
Yeah.
Brilliant apartment.
You still
I still have it.
Yeah.
I don't like selling properties.
Speaking of apartment, let's talk about that, Pramu. So it's interesting that you bought an apartment, because a lot of people say apartments don't. A lot of our clients, you know, they're like, oh, I don't want apartments. It doesn't build equity.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
You just don't know how to pick the right apartment.
Because your apartment built you equity.
Absolutely.
And
And to be fair to those people, there's a lot you need to learn when you're buying an apartment, right? So if I had to give you very, very simple parameters, what you need to do when you're buying an apartment, you need to look at where it is, what's the body corp, where are the amenities, transport, and how close to the city. Because if you're going to buy apartment in suburbia, about 20 kilometer radius, forget about it, buy a townhouse.
yeah,
Right?
might as well.
Might as well. But it needs to be close to the city. That's where that lifestyle exists. Right? So even after COVID, people buy apartment even to this date. Why? They want to be close to the city. Their lifestyle is very different. They don't even own a car.
Yeah, if you
They
live in
don't
the
own a
city, you
car.
don't really...
No.
Owning a car is a hassle. Because driving up...
Yeah, right? But
ramps.
But the apartment I bought, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1 car garage,
Yeah.
1 car space with a storage facility as well. Ticks every single box closer to the university. 7 kilometers to the CBD. I think we paid only $450,000 back then.
And would you say it looks like a bachelor pad? Does it have a good view from the balcony?
I don't know about that. I think I've only went to that property for twice.
Oh, you were never a bachelor when you owned an apartment, so
I don't think I ever gone to the balcony. I just go there, open the door. Yeah. There's one thing I always wanted to see, because that has that apartment had a still has it obviously, the polished concrete ceiling. Right, I've never seen a property like that. So
with
I went to see that. Just
gives
to
that
see it.
warehouse vibe that a lot of people like.
It's lovely,
it's
lovely
a premium feeling.
Yeah, exactly. When my son grows one day, who knows? He said that I want to stay near the apartment. There you go,
He gets his bachelor pad.
That can be a bachelor pad. If he invites me, I don't think he'll ever invite me.
All right, Pramu. Cut the smiles. We're about to get deep. Let's be honest. Who believed in the vision first? You or Sonali, and who had to play catch up?
Who has to play catch up?
Yeah, who had to play catch up?
I don't think two of us never played catch up.
All right, but who believed in the vision first in this
I think
investment property journey?
I think we both had the vision, but we had.
But who made it the mission first?
The mission was mine. And me, right? I'm like a pit bull. When I want something, I'm at it.
And Sonali is the only one who can tame this.
Sonali is like, hang on, calm down a bit, hang on. You can get there, hang on, slow down. What are you doing? Right, okay. Have you done these numbers? Yes.
Good boy.
Have you looked at these things? Yes. Okay, fine, let me do my thing. So then she refines these things, and she applies the risk into certain purchases, which is important, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? You let me lose, I will buy 10. There could be one property can go wrong.
Yeah.
Right? I'm paying law of averages. Sonali doesn't do law of averages. Everything she touches, it needs to work.
It needs to work out.
Otherwise, she won't do it. Right? There are so many arguments at home sometimes for certain properties, and I'm saying, no, Sonali, it works. This is the numbers. We do this. We buy this, demolish, build, bang, profit.
So you're the one with the bigger risk appetite.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You love taking some risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Living life on the edge.
I will take 120% risk.
Yeah.
When Sonalis mitigate the 100% risk into 70%. So it's a brilliant match, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. We
Would
can
you
call
say?
that. Right? Yeah, so it's both. I would. It's the vision is the same. Mission.
Yeah. You had little side quests.
Yeah. It's fun.
So, all right, Pramu. So first property to second property, of course, you guys got lucky and you did it sooner than most. And then third property. So how long did it take to get to 10 properties from the first property?
Yeah, very good questions, Vishy. See, third property, the apartment helped us to access equity after probably about 2 years later, including the equity of our
Own occupied.
home. So we always access the equity as an investment loan or line of credit. It always has been tax deductible debt when we access equity. It was there. It was ready for us to go nuts. We were accumulating equity. We were happy. Properties were there, and then we bought a commercial property. The third property, we bought a very small commercial property, but it's a strategic move. We bought it under SMSF to use it for our business. And again, thinking long term.
Oh, and then, so by this point, you guys had also utilized different financial strategies, like you set up an SMSF.
Yeah. So this is where the Sonali came into play.
Financial
Sonali
planning,
said, you are self-employed. You're not paying superannuation for yourself. She's a financial planner. She's looking at what about your retirement? What are you planning on doing? What if you get sick and you don't work and you don't have anything? Where's your nest egg? So she comes and said, we got to do a self-managed super fund. We didn't have enough money to do a self-managed super fund, but she knew we're going to have a lot of money in the future, the way we are doing things. And then she created it. And she said, okay, buy your commercial property, your office from SMSF and rent it to your company. Okay, Sonali, I'll do that. That's our third property.
And of course, we can also, you and Sonali, you also advise most of our clients who have the capacity to do this, how to do this, right? I mean, we help clients.
Absolutely.
Set this up.
We are giving advice based on the experience what we have and based on some of the strategies that we have used. We know they work.
Yeah.
They're not something that I come up with a strategy last night. I just want to pick a client and see whether it works.
Yeah.
No, we don't do things like that.
Tried
I will do that strategy first and see whether it works.
Yeah.
Most of the time it works because of Sonali. She de-risked the lot of risk we take, and it works very well.
You've jumped in the well, survived the landing, and then you throw other people in the same well because you know they survive.
the well is good. This well is good.
So how long, Pramu? First property, second property, third property, until how long did it take until you guys built 10 properties?
So the journey was we were accumulating, we were looking at opportunities, we were looking at odd-shaped blocks. There were a few odd-shaped blocks we didn't end up buying because they were asking too much. Because we were looking at, okay, hang on, if nobody's buying, you get a discount a lot because we have to make money.
Yeah.
We are not in the business for vendor to make money. Somebody else can do it. We are not in that business.
Yeah.
we were looking, always looking. Um, COVID hit, right? Now we had quite a lot of equity to play.
Crisis time, people
Right.
are scared.
Actually, during this time, we were going back and forth to Sri Lanka. I bought my 4th property in Sri Lanka.
As in, you bought a property in Sri Lanka.
In Sri Lanka during this, just before COVID.
Yeah.
Totally wrong decision. That's, if you ask me, Pramu, what are the mistakes we have done? Number one, emotion. I got emotion. I let my emotions to make the decisions. I bought the land. It's wrong.
What drew you to this land? It sounds like some land,
No, it's a good land.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't suit my portfolio. Right? It doesn't make me money.
What kind of area did you buy this land in? Like near a lake or river? Or
No.
just a random block
Just
of
a
land?
random, we had random thoughts done, build a house for ourselves there. So when we go to stay.
So this is one of those side quests, He loves taking risk, and this is a side quest.
It's like I still have that thing. I have to get rid of it at some point because it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
There are a lot of opportunities on that land for a lot of other people, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
So, was there as a 4th? COVID hit. Everything changes, Vishy. So COVID is one of those things that everybody is talking about negativity. They're talking about property prices coming down. People are going to lose jobs. Therefore, they won't be able to pay the mortgage. People will be out of properties. There won't be tenants. Investors won't have money. My God, the media was giving it out to the next level. And now, a lot of investors will panic. This is a panic mode. So, COVID hit, working from home, loads of time we see for me now. Right? Now, working in an office versus working in your home, I can work 24 hours now. I don't have to travel. I started looking into these things a bit more closer. I saw a lot of opportunities. Properties are in the market, not selling, because the agents can't show the properties to the investors. Investors doesn't buy properties just like that. Now, these are established properties. So I told Sonali, there's a property here, realestate.com.au. It's a 995 square meters of land. 995 square meters of land. 3-bedroom house.
995 square meters of land, a 3-bedroom house.
3-bedroom house. So big land.
Where is this
It's
land?
Bayswater, by the way.
Okay.
I told Sonali, can I buy it? And she was like, why? Because she looked at the number. This person asking $890,000. I said, can I buy it? And she said, don't you think it's too much? You don't even know what it is? Okay. What's the price you would buy? If you can get it under 750, buy it. You sure? Yeah, done. I start calling. I'm hustling now, this fellow, right? I knew the agent is struggling. Not a single person in the area will look at this property. I'm only looking at from old images of satellite. Nothing much to see. I said, all right, I'll give you 700. And he laughed. I said, why are you laughing? My price is 890. I don't care your price. This is what I'm willing to pay. Will you take it? No. Done. Negotiation went back and forth. Bought it for 730. Still have it. 995 square meters. Can go nuts with it. Right? It's in Bayswater. So that's number 5. COVID time. I loved it, right? I thought, let's ramp up. Let's ramp this up. This is the best time to ramp up because the government came and started giving money, free money. If you building houses, $25,000. Or if you're building, if you're renovating your house, $25,000.
Just to boost the building.
Just boost the construction industry,
construction
keep the economy going. I think it's a great move. I thought, you know what? Let's go. Land developers were struggling to sell because people can't come and see the land. I saw an opportunity there. I bought 4 properties at a go. Why? Because I had equity to
Play with. Yeah.
I was ready. Myself and Sonali, we were ready. We did the numbers. Every single purchase, we did the numbers. Okay, fine. Depreciation, good. Is it negative cash flow? No, because the interest rate started coming down.
Yeah.
Right? It was all positive cash flow. That's okay. Can be positive cash flow because we get depreciation on the property, so we can
Play with it.
That's okay. We're not going to pay. We're not going to pay tax for it. Being a positive cash flow property.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Straight away 4. That became 8. And again, now this is house and land.
Yeah.
Brand new properties. We love brand new properties for obvious reason. We are looking for depreciation. We are looking to reduce the taxes that we need to pay. Right. This is the government way of.
So
giving.
So to elaborate a bit more on that topic, as a property investor, right? Why do you buy investment properties?
As a property investor, one of the first things I look at when I buy an investment property, will this investment property give me benefits along the along its lifetime? Now, what's my lifetime of this property? Is it 3 years? Is it 5 years? Is it 7 years? Or is it 10 years? Or is it 30 years? Just because in Australia we can have 30-year loan term doesn't mean we keep it for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right. Most likely, I will always look at a property for maximum of 7 years. What am I getting throughout the 7 years? What's the dollar value? I look at that, right? And I double check with Sonali and says, am I getting this? And she confirms. If she doesn't know, she goes and does research and she comes, yep, get this. Okay, awesome. Then I look at, in case, if I had to sell it, will I make money? Or is it a loss? If it's a loss, I won't buy. As long as if it's not a loss. Now, we see this is where a lot of people go wrong. When I say if it's a loss, I don't buy. But it doesn't have to make me money when I sell. As long as it can give me the money I invested back to me,
Yeah.
I'm happy. But most of the time, I look for an appreciation. If I put $100, I would love to get $200 back. Right? That's the way I look at it. I don't look at, I buy $600,000 for a property to sell it at 1.2 million. I don't look at that. I look at, if I put $30,000 to invest into my $600,000 property, will I get $100,000 back? That's what I look at.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the way I always advise every single investors to look at. So that's how we fast track ourselves into 10 properties. So we ended up keep buying properties during the COVID time. That helped us to come to 10 very quickly. Then after that, it was very different. It was all about strategy, how to maximize. There are properties we bought as a one property, we subdivide, then it became 3. So we buy 1, we got 2. It's not for free, but obviously there's investment, but our cost is lower, right? Cost is lower. So when the cost is lower, right? When the cost is lower to have 2 properties, is it better? Yeah. When the cost is lower to have 2 properties, I go for it.
Yeah.
Then our accumulation was very, very, it was on steroid, Right. So we loved it. We loved it, and we are continue to do that.
And now you're into developments.
We are into developments because it gives us a lot of other opportunities as well, and our equity is helping us to create more equity, but at the same time to reinvest the equity in assets that we know that does well. You understand? We are very comfortable in this space.
Yeah.
So we are going to be keep doing this. We will, two of us, we love it. And when we look at certain types of projects, what are the challenges on those projects, we will do it. And like even own occupied houses, I'm building one right now, and we are pushing certain limits in that house. But we mitigated a lot of risk on that. So it's fun. Sonali has let me have a bit of fun with this house.
She's let her puppy out of the cage a little bit.
Gave me a bit
more leash.
Gave me a little bit of leeway for this house. I said, okay, thank you very much.
so Pramu, to
can I touch you on something of Sonali's episode now? If people haven't listened to this, well, listen to this.
Yeah.
In her episode, she says that when we came to Australia, we were renting in Footscray. We didn't have a car.
Yeah.
The car park, we had a Coles cart park. To this day,
Coles cart.
That I parked it because there's some other bugger come and parking on my car space. I didn't like that. Hang on, I'm paying rent.
Yeah.
It's my spot. So I bought the Coles cart. I park it. I literally put it right in the middle.
Yeah.
With some stones so that nobody can move.
Yeah.
If they move, I go, who moved it?
Yeah.
It's my car.
It's got 4 wheels. You can still ride.
It's my ride. Right? So we used to take our laundry. Go and listen to the previous episode. She talks about this. So she also let me play with the success too.
Yeah.
Right now, when I said that she has given me a bit of leeway, she's given me the okay to have
some nice rides.
A larger garage.
Yeah. Boys and the toys.
Yeah. So now I can put my cars in all of my cars into the garage.
Yeah.
So
and is there still space for that trolley in the garage?
Yeah. At least another 2 more cars as well. I don't think she'll let that happen, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I mean, you have to enjoy your success, right?
Yeah.
So Pramu, one thing I want to touch on, right, before we close up, something you always, you're an advocate of is what helped you achieve your success is getting rid of the poor man's mindset.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Elaborate a bit more on this.
Yeah. Yeah. So poor man's mindset, that's where a lot of people go wrong. When you have a what is a poor man's mindset? Right? You want me what?
Yeah.
Put it down? Like that? Yeah. So what is the poor man's mindset? Poor man's mindset is, in my opinion, you're just following a system that worked for some other people. You're not in that financial situation. You're not having that kind of lifestyle. You're just following somebody else's system.
Yeah.
Why? You have a poor man's mindset. You're not willing to change. You're not willing to try things. You're not willing to take risk. Right? Poor man doesn't take risk. Have you seen people take risks when they're in a position that they're comfortable?
So you're saying comfort kills
Comfort
potential.
Comfort skill pretty much kill wealth creation. It kills it. Right? So when you come out of the poor man mindset, you will start listening to people who does things differently. No one has done it.
Listen to the crazy
This
ones.
guy is doing what are you doing? People are making money. What are you doing? Then you start learning why he's doing or she's doing, why this company is doing. Once you understand the why, then you're not in the poor man's mindset,
Yeah.
right? If you start making decisions based on making money, you're in a poor man's mindset.
Okay. What do you base your decisions on?
It's not about the money, it's the journey, right? What are the things I'm learning along the line while making money? Money is an inevitable thing. If you do the right thing, if you invest correctly, return is inevitable. Who said the return is not inevitable? You're just listening to the poor men who done the wrong thing and lost money.
Yeah.
Right? That's why they are saying, oh, if you do it, you may lose money. None of them say, if you do it, you will lose money. They don't say that, right? They say, you may lose money. Why?
Because they're afraid. They haven't done it.
Done it. Or they've lost a lot of money and then they want you to also lose money. So then they can make money while you're losing money.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful if these kind of equations, right? How many courses there to become wealthy?
Yeah. How to become a millionaire.
How to become
a millionaire.
right? I think I've seen a course.
Oh, there are so many like property gurus.
Property gurus.
Selling courses.
Yeah,
And
selling courses.
Some of them don't even have 2-3 properties.
No. So there are so many courses out there, right?
Yeah.
Right. Some people have database courses. Some people have location based courses. Some people have type of property. Is it really matters if you don't know how to manage your own money? Right?
Yeah.
If you don't know how to even access your equity in the correct way, all these courses doesn't matter.
True.
You can't go to double figure is very hard for a lot of people
When it
in
comes to
Australia.
property.
Yeah, double figures is going to be very hard.
Yeah.
I work with quite a lot of. I work with number of high-end clients. You'll be surprised that high-end clients take long time to go to double figures because they take time to mitigate risk. They look at certain things, and at the same time, they trust the right advisor. The right advisor will never sell them properties every year. They won't do it. Because then if that person is doing that, that person is just trying to make money out of you.
Yeah.
Right advisor will look at markets, will look at trends, will look at new trends or new strategies. Right? So it takes time. It will take time.
Yeah.
So I have told very bluntly to all my clients, if you're expecting me to get you from 5 properties to 20 properties in less than 2 years, very sorry, don't pay me. You do it by yourself.
Forget about it.
It won't happen. Right? It won't happen.
Yeah.
But if you are patient enough, and if you also trust the system, I'll get you there. We have a system that works. We will teach you. These are the things I will also do with you, by the way. There could be new strategies that I will implement.
I mean, we've seen that, sometimes we find a good investment property for one of the clients. Client says, I don't want to buy it. And then you're like, I did the number. You do the numbers.
Give
like,
that to me. Give that to me.
It's mine. I'm taking it.
Yeah. It happens a lot in the office, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just that Sonali doesn't approve everything because there's a lot of paperwork for her.
Yeah.
But you've done the numbers, like, Sonali, I want to buy this.
Yeah, because
it just makes sense.
It just makes sense. I mean, I put $100,000. 3 years later, I sell it. I make $300,000. Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me that money. If you don't want it, I have told you, right? I have told you very specifically. If that client doesn't buy,
I'm buying
do not sell it to anybody. Just come and give it to me.
Yeah. Sadly, Sonali doesn't approve most of those.
No, we give the opportunities to everyone, right? But only for our ecosystem. If no one buys within our ecosystem, if it's a really good investment opportunity, I'll buy it. I can afford to buy it. I have done my hard yard to do these kind of decisions. I don't think now Sonali makes too much of tweaking.
Yeah.
Because for me to buy a 700,000 house and land package, if it makes sense, she said, you know what? Let him do it because it's okay.
Yeah.
There's depreciation coming. You're not losing money.
Exactly. And I guess that's something that a lot of new property investors don't look at when they're buying their first or second investment property. All they're looking at is, but the mortgage is going to cost me this much, and I can't get enough rental income to cover the mortgage. That's literally all they focus on.
Poor man's mindset.
Exactly.
Poor man's mindset. If first home buyers can think their first home as a first investment, see how easy is the decision is going to be. I can assure you, the couples won't even go to color selections.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? Why do you have to waste 4 hours of your time picking the color of the tile that someone else will be using in about 2 years later? Why? Pick the most easiest common color. Who cares? Just the rent what you need. Why do you have to waste 4 hours to do that? That's the poor man's mindset. You come out of that, double figures property portfolio is easy and beyond.
So, Pramu, to wrap up, what is some advice that I want you to give to investors, right? What's the biggest thing holding investors back, first-time property investors back from scaling their property portfolio? You touched on this poor man's mindset.
So that's one of them. I think lack of knowledge, right? That I think it's all about knowledge. If you're going to rely your decision making based on ChatGPT
and property gurus on YouTube.
I mean, these days a common thing is ChatGPT. You're in for a shock.
Because there are so many other AI softwares that's better than ChatGPT.
Did ChatGPT predict the Trump's going to go and have war with Iran?
And did they predict?
Now it will tell because it had happened.
Yeah.
Right? No. You can't. So that's where a lot of first home buyers goes wrong. And the second thing, or third thing, that a lot of first home buyers go wrong from the day one, they are trying to build their dream house. They are putting 5% deposit, borrowing 95% from the bank, which is good, by the way. Leveraging is good, right? You need to leverage much as you can. But why are you overcapitalizing?
Even though you don't pay lemma, you're still paying.
But why? Why are you overcapitalizing? Because you can't get that money back unless you pay lender's mortgage insurance.
Yeah.
Right? You can't. Don't overcapitalize. This is not the house you're gonna live when you are. If you're 30, don't think that when you're 35 you're living in this house.
True.
Think this is the house when you are 33, whose first investment property. What are the things you can do to this house to make it my first investment? Look at it that way.
Yeah.
Right? These are some really good information I am giving out, because there are certain areas I have learned by doing certain mistakes as well. Right? If you ask me, Pramu, would you spend that amount of money in your first home? No. I would have tried to build that house probably about 200,000 because that 60K I paid to my builder is in vain.
Yeah.
But I would have looked in what are the ways I can reduce the 260 to 200. Maybe not, but at least I could have get away with 240.
Do
Right?
the numbers.
Yeah. Don't get carried away.
Yeah.
First home, be humble about it. It's a first home.
It's not your forever home.
It's not forever home. So the common mistakes. That's why people can't scale up.
Yeah.
They get stuck.
Awesome, Pramu. Thank you so much for sharing your journey on this episode on how you built your property portfolio from your first property
Yeah.
to I don't even know which number it is now, right? So
It's revolving.
It's exactly it's growing. Uh, but one key factor that played a vital role in this journey that you and Sonali
Yep.
came on together
Yeah.
is your relationship, your dynamic,
Yep.
right? Your understanding of each other.
Yep.
All jokes aside, it's good that Sonali has a leash on you. But what is some advice you can give to two individuals, partners who are just starting out,
Yeah.
who are looking to do what you and Sonali had done together?
Yeah.
What is some advice you can leave them with?
The most important thing I would say, trust each other. Right? You don't try to question and put each other down. Trust, moment you have the trust, when you start trusting each other's decisions, try and marry it together. Try and find the most common ground that you both exist on a decision, right?
Yeah.
You can even apply this to relationship as well if you want to. But
I mean, this is relationship advice.
right. But see the common ground on that decision, on that property. What is it? Is it the location that we both like? Or is it the property being a 4-bedroom in this way that we both like? Or is it the future opportunities
Making short-term sacrifices now for better
that we both like?
future.
Find that out first.
Yeah.
Once you find it, then all these other things that you disagree doesn't matter.
Find the common ground, common goal.
Common ground. That will
Have the, like you said before, have the same vision.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because there's no point one person buying the property for the investment and the other person is buying it to live in for the next 10 years. You're going to have a lot of problems inside that house.
A lot of,
Right?
yeah. It's a good thing it's a 4-bedroom house.
Inside the house, you're having problems. One person living in one room, the other one is one. I mean, you might as well go on rooming.
Yeah, I know.
Rooming houses.
Oh, yeah, duplexes, rooming houses.
These days, one of the popular investments.
Dual key.
Yeah, dual key.
There you go. I mean, and if you want to buy a dual key house as a couple, talk to us.
One of the new things I'm looking into these days, rooming houses.
Yeah, but not for you and Sonali, but for
As an investment.
to add to your portfolio.
Right. So, common ground, find it.
Yeah.
And that'll definitely help couples to make decisions in the correct way. I think there's nothing else that point onwards, because once you find the common ground, you will work around rest of it.
Trust each other.
That is the main thing. You get those things sorted out.
Yeah. Awesome. So, with that being said, thank you so much, Pramu, for your time, for sharing your valuable
My pleasure.
insights, your journey, right? And for any clients listening, if you want to do this for yourself, you're looking at buying, whether it's your first home or your first investment property or your 5th or your 6th investment property, or you want a tailored financial strategy, right? Where you could be a seasoned investor who has multiple investment properties, but you want to find some tailored financial strategies that work for you. Talk to us at TFS.
Absolutely.
And you can speak to Sonali, you can speak to Pramu, and they'll help you find the best structure that works for you.
Yeah, and any of our team members, I mean, they've been trained by us, myself and Sonali.
Yeah.
You speak to them, it's like you're speaking to us.
Yeah.
So they're not coming up with their own ideas. They're trained by us, though.
You want a slice of the cake, you speak to the team. You want the whole cake, you speak to Pramu and Sonali. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in, guys, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Take care.